Saga, and
Ooh, let the drama begin.
it's getting pretty spicy as we speak. Hey everybody, we are back. It's been a while, but we got off-season topics, and hey Danielle, it's good to see you once again.
What it do, boo? Still fuck Kyle Shanahan, hands down. I stand 10 toes down on business. He's still
you
trying.
sure do. You sure do. I mean, we only just did we did some solid off-season pickups. We didn't go too big like any means, but I don't wait. How are the Lions doing? She's not a Lions fan.
Yo, Carcast ain't shit, bro. Carcast is a Cleveland Brown fan. Carcast is a Cleveland Brown fan. Like, he is hands down Cleveland Brown.
Carcast is low-key an Eagles fan because he's from the Philadelphia area.
And he be repping like Flacco is the GOAT and stuff. Like, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, he went to the Jets. I didn't even know that move happened. Actually, I heard that's a good move.
Yeah, he went to the Jets.
Oh man, this guy's funny. In all seriously, we can talk about the Eric Armstead situation. I know you were going to bring that up, and I feel like in a way he did feel disrespected. Like, if there was a pay cut where maybe he would play like $10 million, I can understand him taking that kind of pay cut. But we're talking like $6 million to where he's not guaranteed $8 million. Like, okay, it's one thing to pay this guy to a top 5 deal, which I kind of like didn't like the move at one point. But when you're asking him to take this type of pay cut, that's the fine line right there. So I kind of see why some of our fans are upset about it, but I'm not. I understand the business perspective. You know, Armstead has every right to explain why he's upset or felt disrespected. You there?
Oh yeah, I am. Sorry. I understand the business move. So we gonna see when they want to talk about not paying. I hope and pray Purdy don't get paid like that, because all he did was do exactly what Jimmy G did. Get you there and fuck up. So to disrespect Armstead like that, and he's been the key to our defense, and you gonna hit this man with $6 million, but you gave Jimmy Garoppolo money. And everybody know I love my husband. That's my man with his fine ass. But he wasn't worth the bag, and they threw it at him. But I understand why Armstead did it. Because of his foot condition and his age, wherever he can get a bag from, you go chase your money. But at the end of the day, I don't see how the fan base could really get disrespectful with him. Yeah. And all he doing is just saying what's real. Like, yo, they're going to have to grow up.
No, I mean, I'm not like the other Niner fans. I've actually kind of understand his reason. Like, yeah, that's a slap in the face if you're asking him to take half the pay cut of what he's getting, you know. So it's like, I can understand if he was going to play $10 million. That's at least a little different of a pay cut, but we're talking like $6 million. That's below the average of what a guy would play. But let's be honest, we paid him as a top 5 position. So I don't think he've ever played up to the level, and he has foot issues, like you said. So that's going to be the reason why we move forward. Since he didn't take the pay cut, I like the fact we got Malik Collins.
So we didn't suffer when Armstead was out?
Armstead was out for a huge amount of time. That run defense was the huge reason why it was a step down. But then when Armstead came back, was it improving after he came off of his foot? Like,
Yes,
yeah, a little
yes.
bit, a little
We
bit.
got improved. Like a bunch of fans need to understand, man. I don't Arms. It's not like Armstead was literally a nobody. Like nobody noticed him. The Niners suffered while he was gone.
That
Like,
run defense took a huge blow because of the
and it's
double
just
team.
like to offer him 6 mil. It just goes to show you, man. When it comes to business decisions, Jay York, John Lynch, and Kyle Shanahan has to be the stupidest people I know. Like they don't make smart business decisions, and it's just like they did the same to Jimmy. When Jimmy made a comment about the quarterback situation being weird, they came for him, and it's just like, how y'all gonna come for him? But y'all sit here and said he was the next Joe Montana. But like I tell you, man, these people crazy.
Yeah, but at least on the bright side, at least we're playing on a rookie quarterback contract, so we can still get some key players. But we can only do so much. I mean, I think when it's all said and done, do you think this deal will get done with Ayuk, or do you really think that this is a possibility we might trade him?
I mean, it should get done. But honestly, this is how I feel about the whole situation. I don't want IU to go. I'm not saying the Niners don't appreciate him, but the amount of weapons and stuff Kyle Shanahan has, I feel like if he feels he could be paid better and utilized better than what he's getting, then by all means go get your money, go get your paper. Because at the end of the day, they're not gonna let Debo go. And honestly, you can't because what you gonna get for him? He always hurt. At the biggest moments, Debo is always down. So
I
if
mean,
you look at it, I mean, I feel like they can restructure and do some stuff to pay IU, but you can't pay everybody. So
I think that's the problem right there, like you just said. Debo's like our moving piece. Like he does everything. So, like you said, he gets hurt a lot. So his trade value would just be like damaged goods. So if we can get at least a third round pick, which I don't think it's going to happen, we ain't going to trade Debo. But I can just picture a replacement that I already seen in the draft, and we don't have to pay him the big dollars, and you can still keep Ayuk. Yeah, he can be released by next year because his contract's avoidable. But if I'm the 49ers, I'm going to try to move up to get Malachi Corley. This is like a clone of Debo Samuel. I would think that would be my option. Or get the guy that he mentored from South Carolina, Xavier Legette. Big body receiver. He actually is a better route runner from South Carolina. And he's built like he's built like AJ Brown. Big body receiver from South Carolina.
you can't replace like
No, you can't, but
you can
at least
replace Debo. Debo's very replaceable, but I don't think there's nobody that I've seen so far that can bring what IU brings to the
oh,
team.
Ayuk's a different kind of receiver. Like he's a better route runner. He can do a lot of things. But I think what people don't realize is Debo does everything that you can't find. But I think replacing Debo won't be as easy as you think. Like there's not many versatile receivers I can think of in the draft that you can just say, oh, we can move on from Debo right now. Only Malachi Corley is the only one I can think of. Or maybe the kid from Fresno named Jalen McMillan. He kind of seems like a good fit. Yeah, what's going on, Rod? It's good to see you. I know it's been a
Hi,
minute.
Rod. If y'all need a fire ass header, holler at my brother Rod Cali. He on Twitter and he an awesome DJ. Follow him on Twitch too.
We got to get
Young
him on.
man, he's talented. He
Yeah, we
don't
got.
copy and paste his headers, but no shade.
Nah, he does a good job on some of the stuff, but we need to get him on maybe by another week or so. Yeah, we can get him on for sometime soon.
Oh yes, you need to. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's a
That's
good
my
dude.
Niner guy.
Yeah, I think he does.
So
He does a really good job on those animated cartoons. So
so I was looking at the draft,
okay,
and it's very offensive heavy.
yeah, it is. Like
Do you
offensive line
see
is
us
pretty.
probably going that route, or do you see us, going towards quarterback?
Oh, so you mean in this draft class? Yeah, offense is pretty deep. The receiver class is probably the most deep it's ever been in years. Offensive line, like I think you can only. I think there's only 5 tackles you can get in the first round that would be day one starters. But the rest of them, they're more like they can take a year to develop, which I don't think we have patience for that. Um, like you just said, cornerback, right?
No, I think quarterback.
I
I
don't think.
think Dobbs is temporarily because I think they're gonna look for a quarterback in the draft.
Um,
So I,
I don't
I
think.
honestly believe that.
I don't think we're gonna get one until maybe the later round. I guess I don't think we're really. I think Josh Dobbs, like you said, he's temporary, so he would be the backup. But I think you want to get somebody to replace Brandon Allen. So I would think maybe getting somebody like a Devin Leary or Austin Reed who can
I
actually fit
want
this.
Michael Penix.
Michael Penix is going to be good as gone. That's the part I kind of like. He can be. I think he can be a second round pick or a third round pick, and I don't think we're not going to go get that kid. I don't know.
We're
Something
gonna
just tells
draft
me
another kicker. Watch.
draft another kicker. That would be a slap in the face. I got a hot take that you might even agree with. It wouldn't surprise me if we go defensive line in the first round because that just seems to be our route every
Yeah,
damn
because
year.
you gotta replace Armstead. Like we lost a lot of people.
Yeah,
That's
but
why I say that because Kyle is good as disguising our offensive flaws. That's why the only reason it's not a priority. But I can see it going defensive heavy.
yeah, defensive line because it's pretty deep. I think what might surprise us is we might even go at running back. Like we might go another running back again, and that might just be another wasted draft pick. That's probably the only thing.
We'll get Jason Verrett.
Oh, Jason Verrett, we haven't even signed him, but I think cornerback. There's quite a few good cornerbacks I like. If we want to get one before the second round, you might have to get them before the second round pick because if you're gonna go into the second round, that guy's good as gone. So there's a couple of options we can go to. That kid Rakestraw from Missouri, he kind of fits the mold of what we want to run in our defense. This guy is not afraid of tackling. This guy's a physical cover corner. Then there's this guy from Iowa State who played the same college as Brock Purdy. His name is TJ Tampa. Very physical, kind of fits exactly the way we run our defense. And then there's the one kid I like from Rutgers. He grew up a Niners fan too. So I think we need to get that guy. That guy's physical. This guy likes to hit people, just like Lenore. But
Do you know who we got?
who?
Nick and Joe Staley.
Nick?
Like,
Yeah.
come on. You hopefully we start off 5-0 and be top two defense since Wilkes was so horrible.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they're gonna go defensively. I don't think they're gonna worry about the offense. They never do. But at this point, I don't care what they do because at the end of the day, it don't matter who you get because you still got Kyle Shanahan as your head coach. So
Yeah.
you ain't seeing six.
I would be. I'm just hoping we can get over the hump, but I don't think we will. But realistically, if we were to get an offensive lineman, I don't see us getting one until maybe the third round, which I kind of see as realistically. Like here's a guy that might develop into a nice tackle. I've been pretty high on this guy, Garrett Greenfield from South Dakota State, and then his teammate Mason McCormick. You get those two guys together, and the running game's going to be extremely effective. Like those guys are good. But if we were to go into the draft, I like Graham Barton. Graham Barton's probably the most versatile offensive lineman coming into the draft. He can play, he can even play center, guard, and tackle. That's exactly what we're looking for. Jordan Morgan, I think he can move the guard and then potentially move back to tackle within the next year or two. So I think Jordan Morgan does add some versatility that we're looking for. Tyler Guyton, I think if you draft him, I don't think he's going to start right away, which I'm hoping for. Maybe we can get him to replace Trent Williams, but I don't see that happen. I don't know. Kingsley Sambate seems like a good project, but might be worth the chance. But I don't
We'll
think
see.
we had to
We gonna
move up
see.
for a starting. We had to move up for a starting caliber lineman. That's the problem. Because
So
there's only
you pretty much saying Brandon Ayuk is just pulling a Debo Samuel?
yeah, I think he is because what are we worried about? Like we would have already traded him.
I mean, he pretty much is the reason why we made it. And then
Yeah,
when we get to the promised land, they shut him out. Not to mention he was in the doghouse for a while and he
yeah.
proved himself. So it's like at some point the Niners need to understand. Like like I
It's not.
said, if he has to go, he can go and get appreciated more. But at the end of the day, I think that they need to stop with these favorites and think about the future and draft picks in the long run.
They
Paying
just
these older people ain't gonna help us in the long run.
yeah. I think Ayuk's already proven his value, and I think the Niners can really pay him. I think by extending him, that it does free up a little bit more money. So the problem is we have to wait until like June 1st, the post June 1st. This is where it frees up Eric Armstead's remaining contract, actually. So the Niners might have got off the hook a little bit by using the post June cut thing. So that does open the door for us to sign Brandon Ayuk, and then it opens up a little bit more money. And knowing how the Niners operate, we go into midseason. We might even acquire a rental and go from there. Realistically, the only problem with this Niners team is I like that we're giving these guys opportunities, but we need to stop giving these jobs to these garbage players like Jake Brendel. He sucks.
That's what
Needs to
they
be.
do. They're known to pick up like these
I
fixer
mean,
pick me uppers and try to like revamp.
some of them have turned out okay, but a guy like Jake Brendel and McKivitz and I do like Feliciano playing the guard spot. I don't have an issue with him playing there. I'm kind of like at that point where I'm hoping Burford can get better at least, but I feel like this front office needs to do better. Like, if we can protect the right side, Brock Purdy would have a lot of time on the pocket, but no.
And I
I feel
like Purdy,
yeah.
but it's just like, yes, but it's just pretty much you're doing the exact same thing you did with Jimmy.
Hmm.
You're paying him the only highest paid quarterback in the NFL should be is Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying he don't deserve to get paid, but 55 mil, bro, for what? For we already made that mistake with Jimmy. Let's not and nobody's saying Brock Purdy he is good. I'm not saying dude is trash at all. But I feel like
I'm hoping he takes a team
you
friendly deal
I think he should take a team friendly deal.
because if he takes a team friendly deal, it would only benefit him more, and then he can take restructures. It's not like Brock Purdy has anything to lose. He's already getting sponsorships and contracts, so I don't think money will be much of an
Yeah,
issue.
he needed. He got married and his rent high. He needs some help.
He needs some help, but getting at least a decent pay, like okay, I can understand if he's taking something like a $30 million range, which I understand that part. But if it's 40 or more, that's a little too much. Yeah, he might deserve more than Dak Prescott, but nah. Even Dak's got that amount of money, and Cowboys think he's that guy. Oh, here's our favorite person. Here's our favorite guy, Tommy the Italian Stallion. I'm just playing.
Tommy's a hater, bro. That dude
Tommy's
is literally a Eagles fan, and he just don't tell people.
he's a funny guy. He's funny. He's a Kings fan too. He likes the sack Kings. I'm just playing. Let's see. Yeah, I think there's just a couple glaring needs. I think we just going to go with best available. Hit the like, y'all. That's right, Tommy. Hit the like, damn it. Hit the like Vince McMahon because he's fired. or hit the like and run like P Diddy. Get that joke reference? Hit the like and run like Diddy. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back. If you're lucky. Tommy's just funny. So I was gonna interact with the guy who actually got interviewed. This interview guy, I don't like to interview people who charge. I'm just not that kind of person. But Gene Deal, you asking for $5,000 for a 1 hour interview over a P. Diddy interview, bro? Come on. But I get it. He's making his money. Can't hate on the guy. But man, I get it. You know, they want to make their money, but that's just some of them should be really humble. Like, I'll say for example, the DOC. He didn't charge me a dime for that 10-minute interview because I think he had to go do something quick, but still got an interview out of the DOC. Matter of fact, it's still one of my recent videos on my backup channel. Even for 10 minutes, it was even just like better than nothing. I'll take that all day. But for that guy that charged like $5,000 for 1 hour, come on, not that kind of guy.
Nah, I think that the only reason why I'm skeptical with Ayuk is because it's how they handle contracts.
Yeah.
That's it. But it's like I don't want to see Ayuk go, but at the end of the day, you can't really pay everybody.
Nah, because Debo's got the top dollar too, so you
Yeah,
can't really.
Yeah, because
And
if you think about it, what you gonna get for Debo? Like for real?
well, for Debo, if you can get yourself a 3rd-round pick and you can draft his replacement like a Malachi Corley, then that's a win.
But you're
But it
not
would be
gonna
hard to
get a
replace him
3rd round for Debo.
for his
You
damage.
not.
No, because he's damaged goods. If you can get a 3rd round out of this guy, or at least a 2nd-round pick, that would be good. But I don't think we're gonna move on from Debo at this point. That's the problem.
No, he's staying, and I want
That's what I'm
Ayuk
saying.
to stay, but I figured, Fred, they restructured, and I think it saved us like 20 mil in cap space.
Yeah, there's gonna be
And
a couple more guys taking pay cuts too. So
yeah, so it's just like even though we 300 million over, I don't know how, but I guess,
I
I
guess
guess,
it's just part of the business. I mean, but
like you're 300 million over, and you ain't even got to pay. Your quarterback is still on a rookie deal.
yeah,
How?
make it make sense, right? If you could
Like
have,
I
if you
get
could
it
have
if
said,
you paying people like Ayuk. I guess Bosa. We ain't gonna even talk about that. We ain't
man,
gonna even talk
Bosa
about that.
he didn't perform up to
And
the
then
top.
CMC, and you got rid of Chase, and it's
Yeah,
like this. The thing I was saying to somebody. You remember CG when we first established this? I think it was Hargrave from the Eagles, and he
yeah,
was supposed to fix the issue, and
but
then
he
it didn't
hasn't.
work. So we picked up Gregory, and it was supposed to fix the issue, and it worked for like 2-3 games. And
Yeah,
then when we got Chase Young, it was like
it fixed some of
it
the
worked
issues.
for a while, and then it's just like at some point, I think the Niners need to sit down and analyze. I think the players, because we go through so much staff, that mentally it's starting to affect them because they have to learn Nick Searson and Joe Staley's system. And it's just they just got accustomed to Wilkes. And it's just like
It's a little
maybe
different.
Brandon Ayuk tired of this bullshit and just wanna go.
Maybe that's the case, but I don't think he's gonna leave because of it. I think he just wants to get the money he deserves, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to make this team win. But I think this is what's leverage for Brandon Ayuk. When he's asking that he wants the ball more, I think that's pushing the leverage for him to say, "Hey, if you want me around here, can you give me the ball?" I think that's his way of demanding the contract the way he wants it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It would be a shocker if we move on from Ayuk because of the contract he might ask for. This wouldn't surprise me, but we would have to make sure we get an option. But
Well, can't they restructure Debo?
yeah, they could. But the problem
They
is
don't
Debo.
want to.
Yeah, the problem is, can Debo do that? I don't think he
I
will.
mean, not Debo. I mean, Pretty Boy Bosa. Can't
I
they
think
restructure him?
I think they could. I think his contract could be a restructured option, but I think by next year they can do that. I think they're trying to take it easy on Bosa for now, and then once the contract gets in, I think they're going to start doing these for the players. I don't think because I think it took Fred Warner until his second year to restructure contracts. Because remember when he got the contract extension, and it took him until the next year.
Yeah.
It took him until next year to do a pay cut. So I don't think they're going to actually have Bosa take a pay cut right away. But I think he should take pay cuts just to help the team. But I think in the long haul, they're going to work on it. We're still going to need a pass rusher. So that's not going to, that's probably going
Yeah,
to be,
we need a pass rusher. I
but
think
there's
we
not,
need an edge too.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
yeah.
An edge, but we don't, there's not really, this draft class is just not that good this year. Like there's only
No, I think it's
like in
more
the,
quarterback and offense than anything.
yeah, the offense line's deep. The defensive line, like I think the D tackles are the better. I think the D tackles are more talented than the pass rush. Like after the first round, you have like small tiers of pass rushers. Like they're more like the bottom tiers, like the guys that you can probably get as your starters down the road. Like if you want to get a starting caliber or a good edge rusher, this guy only has upside and potential. Chop Robinson is a nice option, but you might have to trade up for this guy. And he's kind of like very fast, like Michael Parsons fast, but he comes from Penn State. He might be the intriguing prospect of the draft.
You might.
But
No,
the
I've seen
problem,
a couple because I haven't really been paying attention because March Madness is here.
March Madness, I barely watch basketball, but I know that everybody talks about the Iowa team, the basketball.
It's the women's. Once again, they outdid the men. So it's Iowa, LSU, USC,
LSU. Yeah,
and
Clark, whatever her name is, Clark. She's always like the
Caitlin
star.
Clark,
Yeah,
Juju
she's a.
Watkins, Angel Reese, and them, and
And then
a chick Stanford.
then there's that one chick from Iowa that everybody talks about, Caitlin.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, she is like they're already praising her like she can be the next up and coming great one.
She can ball. She can hoop. That girl
Yeah.
got skills, man.
That's one thing about her. That's what everybody's talking about. She can ball and do everything. Like
But I heard on Twitter a couple of Niner fans was talking about Michigan looked like they got a couple people coming in that probably would benefit us.
ooh, you mean the Michigan players that in the draft?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll name you a couple Michigan players that I might be cool with. Everybody's talking like coming into the draft, everybody's talking about their O lines are pretty good. Like Zach Zenner, he can play the guard. I think he can play the guard and center spot, which is viable. He's got versatility. Let's see. Roman Wilson's kind of like their he's a speedy receiver, but he kind of seems like a better version of Ronnie Bell. Like he seems like a better version talent. And then they got the tight end Barner, but I think their cornerback is part of, like there's some good players from Michigan. Chris Jenkins Jr., like the son of Chris Jenkins. He's a D tackle that's good against the run. I think he would probably be the one guy who can replace Eric Armstead long term. This is a run stopping guy. This is what you want, a guy who takes double teams, right? This kid can take double teams and be effective. I'm not saying he's going to replace what Armstead does right away, but you're going to get somebody long term who can be fitting the bill long term. Let's see. There's a cornerback from Michigan I really like. Mike Senatore. I don't know how you say his name, but he's got 6 picks for Michigan. He's a very good nickel corner. If we were to draft him, I would be happy with this choice. I mean, he seems like a good starting caliber nickel. If you
I
look,
would too.
yeah, look like the corner, he's got 6 picks. He's really good. The linebacker, Junior Colson, I think he would be a solid caliber linebacker for us if we were to have some guys like depth piece. Like he's a
Bosack,
no
when
Junior
he junior, will you think he would fit Kyle's system at all?
on defense. No, I don't know. He might fit pretty well. He might be more of a tackling guy, but I think there's this one kid that nobody's even talking about. I just watched some of his film. This kid from Penn State is really good. Like, if you thought Navarro Bowman was something else, you ain't seen what this kid in Penn State is all about. Curtis Jacobs. This guy, he's a tackling machine.
Oh, they
Sideline.
was talking about him on ESPN this morning.
Oh my God, this guy this guy plays like Navarro Bowman out there. I'm not even kidding. He makes tackles like he's quick off the line of scrimmage. Even the kid from Ohio State, what's his name, Ankenberg, whatever his name is, he's another good solid. He's like a solid linebacker. The guy that I like the most from Michigan, to be honest with you, like everybody keeps talking about the running back. I don't think we're gonna get him, but everybody keeps saying we should get him, and I said no, we're not gonna get him. I think it's Chris Jenkins that we're probably gonna get because he would fit the mold. But Zach Center, the only downside on Zach Center is he's recovering from a serious injury, so I don't think we're gonna take a flyer on him. But I think from what I was told, he should be clear for training camp. So that might not be the biggest concern with Zach Center. But if you get Zach Center in the 4th round, that's a steal. Now, that's a starting caliber. That's a guy who can start at guard or center, and he's a big guy. Now, that's an intriguing prospect. Zach Center, he's a versatile guy. And he followed me on Instagram, too, but he never responded back to me on an interview. But Zach Center, yeah. Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
See what I say when you be reaching out? Mm-hmm. I'd be telling you, CG, you got plugs. You just don't tell nobody.
I just try to I try to like help others, but they don't take my advice sometimes. They always get mad and say, why do you keep reaching out to these people? I'm like, dude, what's wrong with me doing my content? I could do what I want, right? Trying to see where I found the one where he followed me, but where was the one where he followed me? He followed me a while back. Man, he followed me he was on my. Yeah, I got a lot of these. Yeah, it was on my Instagram that he followed me, but it was a while ago. Yeah, like one thing about Zach Center, he's a big dude. So one thing that most content creators need to learn about is if you want to get these guys an interview, you have to reach out to them.
You have to reach out to them.
You have to tag them. If you don't tag them, then what's the point? You're not really getting nowhere with them, so you have to tag them. And people get upset about my intention. I said, dude, that's how I get them. What else am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to let them come to me? Doesn't work that way. You know, it doesn't always work that way for them. So I enjoy all the stuff I do for them, but if you want those guesses, you have to go the extra mile. Even if you have to go on one of their comment videos or something, just say, hey, can I interview you? And they might even be interested. But you have to show interest. But I showed the Cardcast how to do that. Cardcast is kind of thinking my approach is too aggressive. I said, dude, it works. Does it work? And he says, yeah, it works. You got to be aggressive or else you're going to be a pushover. I mean, this guy.
You're right.
Yeah. And that's how I get all my guesses. But this guess, I don't know what to say. I'm not going to do this. But this guy's nuts. Are you serious? I'm not doing that. No offense to this Gene Deal guy. I ain't paying you $5,000 an hour. Hell no. But that tells you how much money they're willing. Like some of them do, but none of them charge. Some of them charge because they want the money. But yeah. I'm trying to see if I can get Frank Gore Jr. on, but we'll see what happens.
Ooh, that's who everybody wants is Christian McCaffrey people, Gore, Rice. Like, no.
Yeah, and that's hard to get. So if I can get Frank Gore Jr., that's a huge plus, right? I've been trying to get T.O.'s.
You can get it.
I've even tried to reach out to T.O.'s son, but nothing yet. But I might push for him just so I can get some clout from T.O. Imagine if T.O. just promotes my interview with his son. That would probably be bigger.
Yo, that'd be nice.
And he actually liked one of my tweets. That's the fun part. He doesn't usually like everybody else's tweets as much. But yeah. But I like some of these guys' mock drafts ideas. So we might need to start doing a mock draft maybe by next week or something.
Yeah. So one thing I'm actually excited on the 49ers is training camp. actually like training camp. The reason why is because you can see the dynamic
and see
and
how they do.
see the prospects of what we have. The only thing is, I wonder if Mitchell or Mason will be utilized because
The problem
it's
is
it's.
Mitchell going to be gone?
You think he's gone?
He's been a liability. Let's be honest. He just hasn't been healthy. I
But
don't
when
know.
he's healthy, he sits on the bench.
But when he's healthy, he is effective. But I think the Niners are looking to get better at that position. Like, you're right. I think after that, McCaffrey takes a lot of the carries. But let's be honest.
Which is stupid.
It
Because at
is.
the end of the day, why the fuck did he leave Carolina then? What is that? Like, I'm not saying that McCaffrey ain't good, but he's not the team. You had no problem rotating with Raheem in them in 2019.
And it
Why
kept the
stop
running
that?
backs
That
fresh.
worked.
It kept all the running backs fresh. It kept them healthier.
Yes.
And we went and we abandoned that. So that was the downside of it. I miss those days where you can have your running back by committee and just keep them fresh. Whoever's the hot hand, just stick with him. And if the other running back's the hot hand the following week, go with him. Yeah, we were fine with Mostert and he was cheaper. Yep. That's what Kenny Cope was saying. Yep. That's true. We were fine with all the running backs we had, but the problem is McCaffrey's just taking a lot of the carries. I feel like Elijah Mitchell just, even when he played as a rookie, he was very effective, but the guy's made of glass. And can they trust Jordan Mason? That's the problem. I like Jordan Mason, but they're not giving him the touches. It's either he doesn't know how to pass.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't because I like literally when he's on the field, he's effective. But for some reason, he doesn't really play, and it's just like
It's a waste
this
of
is
roster
what
spot.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like if he don't feel we're utilizing, he could bounce. That's why I was saying with IU. I'm not saying the Niners don't appreciate him because they do, but Kyle is like a kid with a toy chest of the greatest toys and
He's
options.
like, yeah, he's
And
like,
I feel like IU gets left out in the big moments. And it's like you could go somewhere where you're utilized a lot more.
yeah, yeah, fumble in the Dallas game and the Cleveland game, and but the problem
See?
is we need a fresher back, and I think what's really holding Jordan Mason back from playing is because he's not a pass blocking running back, which we value that the most. And I do agree on this part because we do need to make it more of a running back by committee, but we're not going to do that, unfortunately.
So did
I,
Kittle. So did Kid. Like I agree. CMC fumbled. When CMC messes up, don't nobody say nothing because he's CMC. Like, understandably,
Let's
I feel
Mitchell.
like if Kittle did not kiki ha ha with these niggas and got that interception, that fumble, we wouldn't be in this predicament. But it's just like at the end of the day, the Niners, when it comes to players, it's just like that family business shit. It's not helping. The Warriors do the exact same shit, and I get on them every time about it.
That's
Like at the end of the day, you got to make it about business and business only. That's what I'm saying. Harbaugh wasn't with that kiki ha ha French shit. Uh,
Harbaugh would have been hard
old
on him.
owner, he wasn't with that. They had expectations, and they like, if you not doing your job, you could go. We don't need Mariucci bench TO. It was like, bitch, I don't give a fuck who you is. Sit your ass on the bench. Like that's what the Niners need is a somebody to get. If I get it, we live in a generation where it's
But
sensitive.
the thing with Harbaugh was he was what the players respected. They didn't have to like his tactics. They just respected because he was a very serious coach.
Yeah, and that's why they
Kyle,
complain because he was too harsh, he was too rough. But his tactics worked. The only problem is we came up short,
we
and it's
came
just
up short.
like,
We came up short because he stuck with freaking Greg Roman as the play caller, which he was terrible.
oh no, we ain't.
That's what.
Like, see,
That's what.
I love Harbaugh, but like I tell people, Kyle is top 15 and Harbaugh is 16. So he's above Harbaugh. It's just the simple fact that Kyle, I don't understand how people don't see like this nigga is really fucking it up. Like I get
No,
it in
one
your
thing about
brain,
yeah,
you have a way that you see winning.
one
But
thing
at some point you gotta see your way don't work. It's not working.
yeah, his approach is like it can be unpredictable the way he thinks, but he's really thinking this offensive line's gonna work. Like, really, dude, that's the problem with you. You try to erase that flaw. One thing about Harbaugh that I'll give credit for, at least Harbaugh valued the offensive line more. Like we had it, like we went into the draft where we had to go for an offensive lineman with that, but that was probably before we got Harbaugh. But Harbaugh even wanted to get a starting caliber player, and like, okay, when you look at Kyle Shanahan, he's just that one guy that likes to fit in with everybody. That one nerdy kid that goes to school and tries to fit in with all the cool dudes, all the guys that try to fit in. And when he has something like when he has that one thing that everybody wants and he has that kind of luxury to do that, he's that kind of guy, right? He's that kind of guy that everybody wants to kick it with and say, "Oh, I want to go kick it with this dude," because he gave him that type of luxury, right? Kyle's the kind of guy that buys talent, buys people out. Jim Harbaugh is the kind of guy that, yeah, he may be an a-hole, but I can respect that. Kyle, it's more like, oh, he lets me do what I want. I like him. But if it's Jim Harbaugh, they ain't gonna let that slide with him.
No. I promise you, if Eddie DeBarlo was here, he'd be
Oh,
like,
Eddie
"So what
wouldn't
the
play
fuck
around.
y'all doing in Cancun? Like, what? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they finna sell you the tea, Jed.
Yeah.
Go talk to Eddie and be like, what do I need to do to get to where the Niners? Because honestly, the dynasty started, and we wouldn't be if we didn't have what we have. We wouldn't be popping shit. Yes, our fan base is very spoiled. I
We're spoiled
understand.
because of the
We're
expectation. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are very spoiled, but it's just like I feel like the dynasty is falling. Our only thing is now is oh well, at least we made it to the Super Bowl. You know how
I
many
hate
teams
that
would
mindset. I
I
hate that.
fucking hate that. Like and
I
when they
hate it.
compare it to Andy Reid, it's like, so I gotta wait another 20 years?
But
Like I gotta wait?
so we have to wait. So do we have to wait for another head? Do we have to wait for two more head coaches to win our Super Bowl, or do we have to wait until Kyle goes to another football team? Because I don't know. Doesn't seem like he's ever going to learn that mistake. But
I don't think I know he played in college.
no, I don't think he's ever coached in
I know
college.
he played.
I think he was he played receiver in college for the Texas Longhorns. He played for Duke for a short minute, then he went to Texas. I think as a coaching, he was a
Oh, that's why he's trash. Because he's a whack ass Longhorn. Fuck
yeah,
Texas
and I'm a
Longhorn.
Sooners
I'm
fan.
a
He's a whack
USC
ass
Trojan.
Longhorns.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And in the draft as a remedy, yes. This year's draft, you got some good receivers, and the tight ends are not that great.
No,
I
I
kind
think
of
it's quarterback and O-line.
quarterback's all right. I would say it's not. It's kind of like exactly the same as last year. Receivers, different story. It's a lot talented than it's been. Offensive line, it's good. It can go good as until like the fourth or fifth round. You can get some solid caliber guys. The wide receiver, you can actually find a wide receiver in the fifth or sixth round or anything later because they can be contributors. Running backs, nobody cares about running backs, right? You can get one like in the third round and still get your starting caliber running back. I think it's only going to be one running back going in the first round. Yeah, we're trying to sign the Detroit Lions backup tight end right now. Yep, we just signed him, Brock Wright, but we had to wait till 5 days for the Lions to match. Which I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, that's what
He
I
said
wrote.
if you can't beat him, join him.
Not yet. The contract is I think his contract's over $3 million, but the Lions have at least 5 days to match the offer. They could have the same exact offer, but if the Lions don't match the offer, we take him, and he would replace Charlie Warner. I don't think he's going to be nothing more than maybe a number 2 tight end. but he would be pretty solid. But the problem is, why did we even waste a draft in 2 tight ends? Like, I want to
For
see
real.
what Braden can do, because I'm pretty high on
That's
Braden.
that's what I be talking about. We have these array of weapons just sitting on. Like I honestly think the only thing we needed to work on was, of course, the O line and to replace Armstead in there. That was it. I think we had a pretty solid team. It's not like we don't have weapons on this team. They just sitting there collecting mold, and it's like,
Collecting paychecks on the bench. That's the sad part. Like Danny Gray, despite what people think of Danny Gray, yeah, he can be inactive, but that guy's collecting a paycheck on the bench. It may suck, but he's getting money on the bench.
oh, you think Brock Wright would be our number two?
Once we get the update that the lines didn't match the offer, then more than likely I could see him as a number 2, if not number 3. But he is a very capable. He's going to replace what Charlie Warner does. And I looked at his blocking grade; it is ranked better than Charlie Warner. Actually, his grade is ranked better than Charlie Warner, and so he didn't play in the NFC Championship game. So when he didn't play in the NFC Championship game, the Lions were pretty thin at tight end. All they had was Sam Laporta. Losing Brock Wright actually hurt them in the running game a little bit. Even though they had a good start in the running game, they were still on a good start, but they didn't have that other tight end to block. Yeah, there's other possibilities, but Gray and Bell are just here for the show, yeah. But actually, Bell played more snaps. Let's be honest. Bell's not that bad. I think we light at safety. Huff off entry the way he is. Break it down the tackle. Yep. Let's see what happens. I think we are going to get a safety. But we did work.
Who do you think we're going to get a safety?
Who do you think we're going to get at safety? There's a couple of options I like. Let's see. The safety class isn't that good. I don't know. I would grade it as a C+ grade for the safety class. It's not that good. I would say the safety class in this year's draft sucks. Maybe you might get 4 caliber starters in the draft. The guy from Minnesota, I wouldn't draft him in the first round. I would probably wait till the second or third round for that guy. Let's see. Daddy, man. Daddy. He's a wrench man. He's a trustworthy man. He shows up consistently, but to be fair, I'll get you one, Steve.
Is that Steve-O?
Yeah, I'll get Steve-O one, man. I guess I didn't even give him one.
You need to get Steve-O on.
All right, Steve-O, I'm going to give you a ranch, but just get rid of my trolls, all right? I'll get you one. I got you.
Who you troll? Just send it to my DM.
Yeah, I'll send you guys some.
You know me and my mouth on Twitter.
I'll give Jetty one also, just so he can. I'll just put that. And then I'll get Steve-O. Steve-O, I'm going to get you one, buddy. Don't worry. I got you. All right. Everybody gets a ranch now.
Yo, honestly, this whole draft has been... I give it like a C. I'm not playing. I give our grade a C.
I say I'll give it a B- because we did kind of like address other needs. Like, okay, like everybody kept saying we needed to replace Armstead, right? Then we just got Malik Collins and brought in Jordan Elliott, and we did get a quality edge rusher who's probably at least better than what we got previous years. So that's not bad. Getting a guy that replaces what we didn't have last year would be an upgrade. I mean, outside of that, I think we kind of addressed a lot of our defensive pieces. If we get Brock Wright, I give this a B-. If we don't, it would be a C. I don't feel like it was the splashiest signs that we did, but it was good enough. We got ourselves a decent starting cornerback that could be under the radar. He did pretty well for the Saints. He might even do pretty good for the Niners and go for a big payday next year somewhere else. So you got to watch out for this Isaac Yadam, whatever his name is. Spider-Man Ladybug. Yeah, that's funny. Let's see. But I got you guys some, man. I don't know. I guess it probably has to be until the next one, I guess. Tommy's got one. Okay, I'll give one to Danielle. I'll give you one.
I can't believe you gave them. Are you giving them a B to be nice?
Nah, I think if we get the tight end, the backup guy, I'd probably give it a B minus. I think
Okay.
I still give it a C for right now. Here's why I give this maybe a C for right now. We didn't address the O-line better, so we need to get a starting caliber tackle. But I understand we didn't want to go there. We wanted to go cheap. So I would prefer in the draft, okay, if we do well in the draft, I will change my grade into a B. Until now, it's a C. If you sign me Brock Wright, okay, I'll give it a B minus. Just because I'm being a little nice, but I'm actually being very critical about it. We still need to address the O-line a little bit better. And enough of this continuity. Jake Brando and McKivitz are just not cutting it. Those two guys ain't cutting it. Feliciano's not that bad. I think Feliciano is actually the more proven veteran outside of the, yeah. You missed Danielle's ceiling. See, I got you one.
Good. Feliciano?
Yeah, I got you a wrench too, so you're good. I got Rod one, I got everybody one, but you guys got to show up consistently, which I've seen a lot of you guys done lately. How come it says I have 21?
That dig is Steve-O.
Yeah.
He said he missed my ceiling.
The ceiling, yeah. How come in my computer it says 21 people are watching, but is that through Twitter or is that because I don't know? When I look on YouTube, it only says only 3 or 4 people here.
21 people watching, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that through? Matter of fact, I'm gonna check it out, see what's going on over there.
Might
It's
be
kind
a
of crazy.
glitch.
Yeah, if they're gonna pay Brock, they need O-line on rookie deals. Yep, I agree. Yeah, we all know Brock does. We all know Brock Wright has experience, but actually, when they lost him, he actually was a big blow for them because he had to miss the championship game. And what really hurt the Lions was their starting guard was out for that game. And maybe that's what really gave us the advantage. But in the early part, we were doomed from the get-go. But yeah. As far as that, we'll do a mock draft maybe next week if you want to. Hey, this would be a good combination. Brock to Brock. Touchdown. But Brock Wright's kind of like an intriguing tight end. Guards aren't cheap, and Banks is playing for a bag. Yep, that's what I'm saying. There's not many people. It's Pari on Twitter. I think on Twitter I'm getting a lot of people watching there. Yeah, that's the confusing part. How come it says 21? How come it says 21, but it's not over here? It makes no sense. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the heck? Oh, 17 right here. See, 17 people are watching, and there's about 4 or 21 people here. So that's part where most followers.
Famous.
Yeah. Hey, the law office of Brock and Brock. Or how about from Richard Sherman, Morgan to Morgan? They are probably people listening to most of my platform, I get a lot from TikTok. I get like 14,000 followers down there, but they don't really tune in as much. I think I got quite a new followers from TikTok that come over here sometimes, but they're only interested if it comes to those prospects or anybody famous here. They'll only go there, but nowhere else. 1877 Brock to Brock. That's not too bad of a combination. This guy's kind of funny. Yeah. Yeah, this apparently this is Brian's brother. I don't know. Hey Kenny, are you the older brother or you're the younger brother? Because I know you have a brother that does his own show too. I would assume he's probably at least the older brother, I'm guessing. Or is he the younger? I don't know. They probably both look the same. Yeah, we're getting Pat. Oh no. Oh, Brian's your cousin? Oh, okay. So you guys are cousins. I thought you were siblings. Okay, so you guys are cousins. That's cool. That's cool. I guess you guys are, but still related by the name, I guess. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, wouldn't it be kind of cool if we get the tight end for Washington named Cope, whatever his name is? That one tight end.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
He's very athletic too. He's an athletic tight end from Washington. I don't know how you say his. I think his name is his last name's Cope from Washington. He runs a 4. He runs a 4.4 speed for a tight end. Devin Cope. There you go, Devin Cope. This guy is very athletic. Yeah, Devin Cope. I looked at his 40 time. I think he runs a 4.46. Yeah, because I looked at his 40 time and he ran the fastest. Oh, this guy ran the fastest 40 time, 4.47. Yeah, that guy ran. He's the fastest tight end in the draft. Because I think the only tight end that ran the fastest in the combine was Cope. And he's under the radar. Washington this year's got some underrated players. Yeah, he knows me, but didn't know how we were related. What do you mean? You don't know who he is or has a ranch? Dude, I barely seen him around. I just realistically, I'm starting to see Kenny come around, so I'm starting to get to know him. That's why I was kind of curious, because I see that you're Brian, you're related to Brian, so I would figure. But nah, I pop in here and there. I can't always comment. Yeah, that's understandable. So you're his cousin, I'm assuming. Yep, from what you told me. Yep, that's true. Exactly. That's why I was kind of curious. Like, hey, you got to be related to him, but how? But Devin Cope, that would be kind of like a good jersey to have. His highlights are pretty decent. If you look at his
You know who
highlights,
should come back?
who should come back?
He Garrison Hurst.
Oh, he's that old. But yeah, I'm trying to get him on my show, but he never
That
responds.
would be dude. If you get Garrison Hurst on there, I would turn into Valley Girl times 7. When I say Merton Hanks and Garrison Hurst are my two favorite Niners ever, Merton Hanks is ultimately my goat. But Garrison Hurst, like, if I see him, it's like, hey guys, hey, like automatically Valley Girl, automatically. That dude, if I could reverse time and put him on the team now, man.
Yeah. Hey, maybe I not. Maybe I might need to work on a show with Kitty for a follow week. Maybe we'll do something with him. He seems like a really knowledgeable dude. Yeah, we'll work something.
Can we go get Harbaugh?
Harbaugh, that is a long shot. Looking
Like,
how
look, imagine Harbaugh, right? And Kyle being the guru that he is on offense. And we got Harbaugh as the head coach. We would be the most dominant team in sports,
they
in
would
football.
they
We
would be
would know it'd be over.
it would be too much for them to handle. But the problem is Harbaugh going to even want him as his OC because he has Greg Roman? Harbaugh just wants to be loyal to his own people.
You
That's
know
what got
what?
that's what
You
got
gotta
Harbaugh.
you gotta compromise. I
That's what
think he wouldn't get Greg Roman. I think Harbaugh would probably want and expect an apology. How they dragged his ass through the mud, the media. And if these two gentlemen could put their pride to the side,
then
the
they
Niners would run it. They would run the whole NFL. Patrick Mahomes would have his 2, 3 Super Bowls, and that would be it.
yeah, that's true. Um, the problem is that's what it was with Harbaugh. Harbaugh, because this is the report I've seen like decades ago. Jed York wanted Harbaugh to fire Greg Roman. And I don't know if this was legit reports, but him and Trent Baalke said, "Hey, you need to fire this guy." And Jim says, "Nah, it's either he goes with me or I'm out of here." I don't know if that was true, but that was the reports from a long time ago. That's what led Harbaugh leaving because they wanted Greg Roman fired. And I guess Harbaugh refused to do that. So I guess that's why he resigned as head coach for us, or else this could have stuck around. But one thing about Greg Roman was he was a good, kind of like a good running game guy. But when it comes to the play action and all that stuff, it has to work, or else he's just an afterthought. He's a stalemate play caller. Greg Roman was creative in the running game, but when it came to the passing game and all that stuff, didn't work. This guy looked like a genius for a minute, but then he kind of ended up being like George W. Bush, dumb. That's how Greg Roman was. Greg Roman kind of had the brilliant mind, and then he turned into George W. Dumb Bush the next minute. That's why Raven fans don't want him here. That's why other fans don't want him to be the OC. But Charger fans, good luck with him. Greg Roman's okay, but he's not that spectacular. Like, he's just there because he's a hardball guy, or else he wouldn't be here. But I think we pretty much reached our ceiling today. We'll do a mock draft next week, guys, and hopefully you guys tune in. But Danielle, you ready for next week? Guess we'll see what happens. Yo, Danielle, we good for next week? A lot of Florida. Script 6, what? Okay, guess we'll
Yo, it is like 1,000 degrees, man, and I'm sitting here sweating bullets.
Oh Lord. Well, we'll work on something next week. So you want to do a mock draft next week?
Yeah, we could do it, Marjorie. I'll let you do it.
Okay, but you gotta give me some choices because there's gonna be a best available, and then you can tell me what other needs we can go to.
For sure, I will hit your DM.
Okay, sounds good. And for everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in.
Steve-O is a secret Eagles fan, by the way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. Okay, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.